His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received at Sakhir Palace senior royal family members, the Representatives Council Speaker, senior officials, a number of citizens and top achievers who participated in international military sports tournaments and competitions, where they all greeted His Majesty.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. يشرفنا أن نرحب بكم أجمل ترحيب في هذا اللقاء الطيب.
Then verses from the Holy Quran were recited.
من القرآن الكريم يتلوها على مسامعنا القارئ علي صلاح عمر.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد جعلنا في السماء بروجا وزيناها للناظرين وحفظناها من كل شيطان رجيم إلا من استرق السمع فأتبعه شهاب مبين والأرض مددناها وألقينا فيها رواسي وأنبتنا فيها من كل شيء موزون وجعلنا لكم فيها معايش ومن لستم له برازقين وإن من شيء إلا عندنا خزائنه وما ننزله إلا بقدر معلوم وأرسلنا الرياح لواقح فأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأسقيناكموه وما أنتم له بخازنين وإنا لنحن نحيي ونميت ونحن الوارثون ولقد علمنا المستقدمين منكم ولقد علمنا المستأخرين وإن ربك هو يحشرهم إنه حكيم عليم صدق الله العظيم. فيكم بارك الله.
يتفضل سيدي حضرة صاحب الجلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى آل خليفة ملك البلاد المعظم
His Majesty the King then delivered the following speech.
لهذه المناسبة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدنا في البدء أن نرحب بكم وأن نهنئ الجميع بالعام الهجري الجديد، سائلين الله أن يجعله عاما مليئا بالخير والمحبة والسلام، كما نحمد المولى عز وجل على نعمة الأمن والأمان التي نتمنى أن تعم على جميع شعوب العالم، وعلى وجه الخصوص دول الجوار التي تجمعنا بها قيم الأخاء الإنساني وروابط الأسرة الواحدة. والله يديم علينا المحبة، ونأمل أن تشهد المنطقة في المستقبل القريب نقلة نوعية تعزز أواصر التعاون لتحقيق أهدافنا المشتركة وتطلعاتنا نحو الاستقرار والطمأنينة والازدهار. ويطيب لنا بهذه المناسبة أن نعرب عن خالص التقدير لشعب البحرين الكريم من أهالي ومسؤولين لما أبدوه من التزام رفيع بالواجب وتكاتف وطني ومتحضر في مواجهة الظروف الاستثنائية التي مررنا بها، والتي كانت خارجة عن إرادة الجميع، وهي مواقف مشرفة تدل على قدرتهم الدائمة على الوقوف صفاً واحداً لحماية مكتسباتنا التنموية ونسيجنا المجتمعي المتماسك دون أي تهاون أو تفريط. ونخص بالذكر والإشادة مستوى الجاهزية العالية وإدارة العمليات المتقنة التي أظهرتها المؤسسات العسكرية والمدنية على حد سواء، فشكرا للجميع على تفانيهم وجهودهم المقدرة خلال تلك الأوقات الصعبة التي منحتنا دروسا قيمة نستفيد منها في المستقبل. وأكدت لنا في الوقت ذاته أن التحديات الكبيرة مهما بلغت خطورتها أو جسامتها فإن صلابة المواقف الوطنية تبقى السد والملاذ الآمن بعد الله عز وجل لتجاوز الأزمات. كما نغتنم هذه الفرصة الطيبة لنحتفي معكم بآخر الإنجازات الرياضية العسكرية التي حققتها قوة دفاع البحرين على المستويين الإقليمي والدولي، ونهنئهم على ما أحرزوه من مراكز متقدمة وأداء متميز. وختاماً نعرب عن فخرنا واعتزازنا بروح المثابرة والكفاءة التي تتحلى بها قواتنا العسكرية والأمنية في تحمل مهامها على كافة الجبهات وفي جميع الظروف، شاكرين لمنتسبيها بذلهم وإخلاصهم في حفظ أمن الوطن واستقراره وحماية مكتسباته وإنجازاته، فهم بحق حماة البحرين ودرعها الحصين والعين الساهرة على مصالحها العليا ثرائها الحضاري. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Then the top achievers of the teams participating in the first GCC Military Shooting Championship, the International Sniper Team Competition in Turkey, the 6th UAE SWAT Challenge, and the Royal Guard boxing team, who competed in the 2nd Annual Boxing Championship in London, shook hands with His Majesty, who congratulated them on their outstanding achievements which honored their country and raised its flag in these Gulf and international military sports forums, wishing them success in their future endeavors.
محمد عبد العزيز محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سيدي حضرة صاحب الجلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى آل خليفة ملك البلاد المعظم القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة، حفظكم الله ورعاكم وأدام عزكم. أصحاب السمو والمعالي.
Colonel Muhammad Abdulaziz Muhammad then delivered a speech in which he expressed pride and honor to His Majesty the King for receiving the military shooting teams who won regional and international championships. He said that His Majesty's constant keenness to encourage citizens is the biggest motivation behind the achievements of the BDF in regional and international forums. He added that the most prominent military sports achievements for the year 2025, which were made following the support, generous patronage and unlimited support of His Majesty the King, were the solid foundation for the development and excellence of military sports in Bahrain, reflecting the bright image of the BDF personnel at the regional and international levels. He noted that the first GCC military shooting championship that took place in Bahrain last year between the 2nd and the 4th of December was praised by all participating countries organizationally and technically. He highlighted that Bahrain won the General Excellence Cup with first place in rifle dropping competition 200 meters, warrior competition for individual second place, in pistol saucer shooting 20 meters, dish shooting for 40 meters, and third place in the warrior competition for officers. He added that Bahrain military team also won silver at the 5th International Best Sniper competition held in Turkey earlier this year. He also stated Bahraini military team ranked second in the Arab world and second in the Gulf at the levels at the 5th Emirates Tactical Team Challenge tournament held in Dubai earlier this year. He affirmed that these achievements confirm the physical readiness and high professionalism of the BDF and highlight the efficiency of the national military teams in regional and international forums.
وحققت المركز الأول في مسابقة إسقاط الصحون بالبندقية ومسابقة المحاربي للأفراد، كما حققت المركز الثاني في إسقاط الصحون بالمسدس وإسقاط الصحون بالرشيش، وحصلت أيضاً على المركز الثالث في مسابقة المحارب للضباط. ثانياً، المسابقة الدولية الخامسة لأفضل قناص دولي في تركيا 24 إبريل لغاية 16 مايو 2025. حصل الفريق العسكري البحريني على الميدالية الفضية على مستوى الفرق. ثالثاً، بطولة تحدي الإمارات للفرق التكتيكية رقم 5 دبي من 1 لغاية 5 فبراير من عام 2025. احتل الفريق العسكري البحريني المركز الثاني عربياً والثاني خليجياً على مستوى الفرق. هذه الإنجازات تؤكد الجاهزية البدنية والاحترافية العالية للقوات المسلحة، وتبرز كفاءة المنتخبات العسكرية في المحافل الإقليمية والدولية. حفظكم الله سيدي، سدد على طريق الخير خطاكم، وأدامكم ذخراً وفخراً لهذا الوطن العزيز وأبنائه المخلصين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Then the director of the Military Sports Federation, Brigadier General Muhammad Abdulatif Jalal, presented a commemorative gift to His Majesty the King. The attendees expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty for his kind sentiments, which reflects the cohesion between the kingdom's leader and the people of Bahrain and the renewed loyalty and allegiance to His Majesty. They praised the pioneering civilizational and developmental achievements that the kingdom has made during His Majesty's era and the country's prestigious position and reputation it holds among developed countries thanks to His Majesty's directives. They pray to Allah the Almighty to bless His Majesty with abundant health and happiness, bless the kingdom with prosperity, security and stability under His Majesty's leadership. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance at the White House. His Royal Highness emphasized Bahrain's unwavering commitment to expanding the Bahrain-U.S. strategic partnership, which spans over 130 years. This partnership builds on recent visits and bilateral agreements, particularly the Comprehensive Security Integration and Prosperity Agreement (CCPA), which was joined by the UK following an invitation extended by Bahrain and the US. His Royal Highness described CCPA as a major step towards fostering broader regional security integration, strengthening collective deterrence against external threats, and expanding cooperation in commerce, science and technology with like-minded states in support of peace and prosperity in the Middle East. His Royal Highness affirmed Bahrain's commitment to cementing its position as a regional hub for technology and industry. This is supported by Bahrain's favorable legislative and regulatory environment, its strategic location and advanced infrastructure, all of which will play a crucial role in strengthening Bahrain-US partnership to achieve the shared goals. His Royal Highness affirmed that the $17 billion investment package announced during his visit, spanning multiple sectors, reflects the deep trust and strong ties between Bahrain and the US, further advancing their strategic partnership. His Royal Highness expressed hope for the advancement of joint efforts across diverse sectors, paving the way for greater bilateral cooperation that aligns with the shared aspirations of both countries. His Royal Highness affirmed the strength and the depth of the Bahrain-US economic partnership, describing it as a strategic milestone which reflects the enduring bilateral relationship and the long-standing tradition of cooperation and coordination between the two countries. His Royal Highness also underscored the shared commitment to exploring new and promising opportunities for economic and investment collaboration in line with the shared development goals. His Royal Highness emphasized the importance of cooperation in peaceful nuclear power, given its positive impact on development and the transition towards sustainable energy. During the meeting, both sides explored topics of mutual interest and discussed recent regional and international developments, reiterating the importance of working closer together to uphold regional security and stability. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, met with the U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon as part of His Royal Highness' official visit to the U.S. His Royal Highness reaffirmed the strength and the depth of the strategic Bahrain-U.S. partnership, particularly within the military and defense sectors, which spans over 130 years. His Royal Highness noted that the enduring military and defense cooperation continues to advance through mutual trust, collaboration and strategic partnership, such as the Comprehensive Security Integration and Prosperity Agreement (CCPA), which recently expanded to include the UK following an invitation by Bahrain and the US. His Royal Highness described CCPA as a major step towards encouraging broader regional security integration, strengthening collective deterrence against external threats, and expanding cooperation in commerce, science and technology with like-minded states in support of peace and prosperity in the Middle East. His Royal Highness emphasized the shared commitment to furthering military and defense cooperation to achieve common goals that benefit all. His Royal Highness underlined Bahrain's support for all regional and international efforts aimed at maintaining peace and stability and commended the pivotal role of the U.S. alongside its allies in upholding regional and global security.
Mr. Prime Minister, Your Royal Highness, welcome to the Pentagon.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate having you here. Thank you for making the trip and your entire team for being here. We look forward to the discussion. We know front and center the Kingdom of Bahrain has been a long-standing partner of the Department of Defense, host to our 5th Fleet.
Sir.
So many of our warfighters and their families, thousands, you've been gracious host to for quite some time. And we want to publicly, yet again, thank you for that. And we know we can always count on Bahrain, and as evidenced by recent events, but also the courage you've shown for a long time. Original signer to the Abraham Accords, host of the Combined Maritime Forces. You are committed to peace through strength, just like we are in that region. And I think we are at a moment of reckoning and a moment of opportunity because of a lot of the stances that you've been willing to take, our partners have been willing to take, and we're thankful for that. So we're eager to review how we can enhance self-defense capabilities, how we can work side to side, and our collective ability to take advantage of these opportunities right now. So plenty to work on, plenty to talk about, but all built on a foundation of strong cooperation for quite some time. And thank you for being here on behalf of our team, and look forward to a productive discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, on behalf of myself and the team and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Really, it's a pleasure to be here. We are no strangers to the Pentagon. We have been visiting in many different guises and many different representations. We've had soldiers, we've had diplomats, we've had many leaders come here. And we have worked alongside the U.S. Armed Forces very closely officially since 1948, but I'm sure there was much more cooperation even before that. The first relationship we ever had with the United States was a missionary relationship that came in 1893 from Minnesota. And they were doctors. And they healed not only the sick in Bahrain, but all over the Gulf, including many of the leaders who preceded us. So this is not a new relationship. The Kingdom of Bahrain at the time, signed the Trucial States Agreement in 1816, so we've been part of the rules-based international order since that time, and we have done our bit to protect it over many different conflicts. We will continue to deepen this relationship, and we are so proud of this strong cooperation, and I am all ears to hear how we can best help. And we will also be explaining some of our defense requirements and how we can work together to fill those needs.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Here.
His Royal Highness expressed pride in the ongoing progress of the Bahrain-US relations, underscoring the importance of building on the foundation of existing agreements to elevate cooperation to greater heights. His Royal Highness noted that Bahrain takes pride in its strong and enduring partnership with the U.S. The Kingdom's historic cooperation with the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet, spanning over 8 decades, stands as a testament to this partnership and reflects a steadfast commitment to supporting international efforts aimed at safeguarding maritime security and protecting global shipping lanes. His Royal Highness further noted that this cooperation, carried out alongside allied armed forces, plays a vital role in advancing regional and global stability, while supporting broader efforts to achieve sustainable development at both the regional and international levels. During the meeting, avenues to strengthen military and defense cooperation were reviewed, along with discussions on issues of mutual interest and the latest regional and international developments. During the meeting, the U.S. Secretary of Defense highlighted the strong strategic partnership between Bahrain and the U.S. He commended Bahrain's vital role in hosting the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet and its active participation in and hosting of the continued maritime forces. He also expressed his appreciation for Bahrain's courageous stances, commitment, and continuous support for peace. He affirmed the U.S.'s commitment to strengthening the defense cooperation and develop joint defense capabilities with Bahrain, based on decades of mutual trust and collaboration. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and other senior officials also attended the meeting. The Minister of Finance and National Economy and Chairman of the Board of Bahrain Mumtalakat Holding Company, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, met with Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce. The meeting took place on the sidelines of the official visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to the U.S. Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa highlighted that the deep-rooted Bahrain-U.S. relationship spans over 130 years and is founded on long-standing cooperation and a strategic partnership that continues to evolve across multiple sectors. The minister emphasized the importance of further advancing bilateral trade and investment opportunities in line with the visions of His Majesty the King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, and the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He noted that the total value of investment deals signed between both countries during the visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to the U.S. amounts to approximately $17 billion. These include agreements across a range of diverse sectors, which are expected to contribute to economic growth and deeper bilateral cooperation. He emphasized that the free trade agreement between Bahrain and the U.S. and the U.S. trade zone in Bahrain have bolstered economic collaboration and created promising opportunities. Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa and the Secretary of Commerce witnessed the signing of an agreement to supply Gulf Air with 18 new Boeing B787 aircraft and 36 aircraft engines from General Electric Aerospace. The agreement was signed by the chairman of Gulf Air Group, Khalid Hussein Taqi, and the president and CEO of Boeing Commercial Airplanes, Stefani Pope. The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah bin Adel Fakhro, Bahrain's ambassador to the U.S., Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Khalifa, and the CEO of Mumtalakat, Sheikh Abdullah bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, were in attendance. Senior official at the Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs at the U.S. Department of State, Maura Namdar, hosted Bahrain's ambassador of the U.S., Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Khalifa, and the deputy head of the mission at the British Embassy in Washington, Lucy Ferguson, to mark the UK's accession to the Comprehensive Security Integration and Prosperity Agreement, CCPA. The following statement was issued by the governments of the US, Bahrain, and the UK on the occasion of this trilateral partnership. The US, Bahrain, and the UK announced the UK's accession to CCPA, a framework aimed at promoting broader integration in the Middle East, strengthening mutual deterrence against external threats, and expanding cooperation to enhance regional security, stability, and prosperity. The US and Bahrain signed CCPA on September the 13th, 2023, with the intention of welcoming additional parties in the future. The UK's accession as the third party to CCPA took effect on June 19, 2025. CCPA builds on the historic achievement and vision of the Abraham Accords signed in Washington in September 2020, which created conditions for closer security and commercial ties between countries in and beyond the Middle East that seek peace and prosperity in the region. Since joining the Abraham Accords in 2020, Bahrain has played a leading and active role in advancing the promise of greater regional integration. The US, Bahrain, and the UK emphasized their shared interest in strengthening strategic cooperation to advance the goals of CCPA under its three main pillars: defense and security, economy and trade, and science and technology, and network security. To advance the objectives of CCPA, the three parties plan to launch working groups to enhance strategic partnership and collaboration in line with the agreement's goals in pursuit of a Middle East marked by greater regional stability, economic cooperation, prosperity, and technological innovation. As part of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister's visit to Washington, D.C., the Kingdom of Bahrain announced a package of strategic agreements covering the aviation, technology, energy, and industrial sectors. More details in this report.
The visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to Washington, D.C. received significant media coverage in major American newspapers and platforms due to the political and economic significance of the visit and the volume of investments and partnerships announced. Through a series of agreements totaling about $17 billion, the Kingdom of Bahrain inaugurated a new chapter of strategic partnership with the United States. The visit of His Royal Highness included a wide range of agreements and announcements covering the aviation, technology, energy, and industrial sectors, reflecting the diversity of the accompanying economic agenda. Among the most prominent of these deals is the purchase of 18 Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircrafts, along with 36 General Electric engines, a deal that is expected to increase economic growth opportunities, highlighting common interests. In technology and telecommunications, Bahrain has signed agreements with major American companies such as Cisco and Oracle to modernize the digital infrastructure and replace traditional systems with modern, more efficient and secure technologies. A project was also announced to establish a submarine optical cable connecting the kingdom to neighboring countries, which confirms Bahrain's determination to accelerate its digital transformation by integrating with global partners. In energy and industry, investments in the US market exceeding $10.7 billion were announced, in addition to a $2 billion contribution from Mumtalakat in aluminum and manufacturing projects. A memorandum of understanding was also signed between Bahrain and the US for cooperation in the peaceful use of nuclear energy in accordance with international and environmental standards. These agreements represent the beginning of a new phase of cooperation based on common interests and long-term investment, which are expected to be followed by executive steps and high-level follow-ups, which confirms increasing bilateral cooperation for the benefit of the two countries and their peoples.
The chairman of the Shura Council, Ali bin Saleh al-Saleh, concluded an official visit to Russia at the invitation of the chairwoman of the Federation Council of the Russian Federation, Valentina Matvienko. Al-Saleh held high-level parliamentary talks with Russian counterparts, including Matvienko and the chairman of the State Duma. The discussions highlighted the long-standing Bahrain-Russia relations and affirmed the commitment of both sides to strengthening cooperation across political, economic and cultural fields under the leadership of His Majesty the King and the Russian President Vladimir Putin. An MOU was signed between the two sides to enhance parliamentary collaboration through joint initiatives, exchange visits and digital legislative development. Al-Saleh also met with senior Islamic leaders and visited key cultural and historical landmarks in Moscow, including the Kremlin and the Bolshoi Theater, to promote cultural diplomacy and mutual understanding. Al-Saleh underscored the strength of the Bahrain-Russia ties and the shared vision for sustainable development and cooperation. Youth City 2030 continues to offer integrated sports and awareness programs targeting young people as part of its commitment to developing an informed and empowered generation with a strong understanding of the importance of sports and health. The sports programs contribute to developing participants' physical and mental skills within a safe and stimulating educational environment that supports Bahrain's efforts to empower youth and enhance their quality of life. The programs offered this year have been met with remarkable interest from participants, offering interactive experiences that include team sports, mental and awareness activity, and are suitable for all age groups under the supervision of specialized trainers in safe and stimulating educational environment. Through this annual diversity, the city affirms its unwavering commitment to providing training and awareness content that empower the youth and develop their skills as part of a comprehensive vision for sustainable development.